Hello and welcome. In today's episode of the podcast, we are going to be talking about what it really means for you to be happy. It's not the milestones, it's not the results, but in short, it's doing what you need and what you want on a day-to-day basis. We're also going to be talking about rating the date on Poki DC and having a fun little date idea outside. And we talk for a small moment on the difference between confidence and arrogance and how to scale down and how to scale up if you don't have any confidence.
Yeah.
So you could have a good balance and not overstep any boundaries.
Love it. So tune in.
Let's go. Hello, and welcome to the 2D podcast. I am your host, Adonis Barrera, and I am joined as always by the lovely and sensational Filipina Iana Giselle Backlit Alhambra.
Woo woo. No, I'm just kidding.
How you doing today, Iana?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing pretty good.
And that was like a genuine well because I actually had a phenomenal day. So how you doing?
Go. I was just about to ask what made it so phenomenal.
So we're going to get right into it, I guess. Today, when we are recording this, it is actually Wednesday, October 18.
Yep.
And that is exactly 75 days until the end of 2023 and the beginning of the new year. So I started a 75-day challenge, making up my own rules and everything like that. And I'm basically taking all of the information that I absorbed in the last 3 dedicated years and I'm applying all of it. And there's no pressure or anything, but I love that I gave myself this is my life. I get to wake up, work out, pray, meditate, drink water, study Spanish, blah, 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 blah. And I did so many things this morning before work.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of myself. And because I started the day off for myself, that's what just made me keep going with such a phenomenal day.
Yeah.
And I was able to pour into the kids. I was able to pour into my staff. I even got the chance after work to check in with my staff and say hey, thank you so much for everything that you did today. Was there anything that we could have done differently? Were you guys okay? And they were like, today was amazing. It was so chill.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
They were like, it was so chill. We got to hang out a little bit, but we still got a lot of work done. I was like, yes. It makes me feel so good knowing that I helped elevate their day instead of taking it away.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful to be able to have that opportunity, and I feel like I'm connected with myself again.
Let's go.
So, and I was smiling throughout my day, driving into work. I was dancing because I was playing music that I liked. It was so funny, but yes.
Dope.
Yeah.
So
that's
for
what I'm doing.
So for the 75 days, what exactly it is that you're doing again?
That's the thing. I did not define these are the 5 things that I have to do every single day. My challenge for the 75 days is to be consistent and to every single day, I am intentional about filling my cup up. Whatever that means in that day.
I love
that. But I get to fill my cup up and only focus on what I need to do for myself.
I love that.
That's putting me first.
Yeah, because now you're being extremely intentional. As before, you could have gone the whole day and that could have led to days, maybe even weeks, where you just don't do that for yourself. And when you go so long without doing that for yourself, you're expecting now others to fill that gap.
Yes. And I'm guilty of that because that was me. I felt like I wasn't doing enough. I got into the blame game of woe is me. I feel like I have anxiety. I feel like I have depression. Like, I don't even know what I want to label this. If I want to label this, like, I knew something was off, but I didn't know what words to use or definitions or labels or anything like that. And I was like, what is it? Like, it was so weird. And then a few weeks ago, I want to say like last week, I fully dedicated like, oh, I am going to start this 75 challenge. Like, I got excited again. And there was like life. And I was like, okay, there's hope. Like, let me just get to the 75 days. And then I realized like, no, you nut. Like, why did you have to wait for the 75 days? Why couldn't you just do it on your own?
Right.
I still don't have the answer for that, but I'm grateful that I kept pushing.
Right.
But the extra was the prep work.
I was just about to say that sometimes we as, people just need that extra push, like as in a challenge. Because I know I said this about like last week or something, where I don't love challenges that much because of that.
Yeah.
But when I do love the fact that it helps people push themselves to do the things that they know they should have been doing anyways.
Yes.
So I'm really glad that you're taking this initiative of these last 75 days. Once you guys hear this, it'll be 72 days.
Yeah.
Because it'll be on a Saturday already. But yeah,
it's never too late to start. Like, you could do it on day 70,
or 60,
50, 60, 15. Like, it doesn't matter when you start. The point of it is, are you starting? Like, so there was one episode on YouTube that I was watching, and I just got in this like rut of just watching and consuming, whether it was on Instagram or YouTube or podcasts or whatever. And I was like, dang, like I keep thinking that I'm restarting and restarting and restarting and restarting. And what she said was like, when do you stop restarting and just keep going? And I was like, oh yeah, like I'm not starting over from the very beginning because I'm starting from experience, but how do I walk into that next step? So like my disconnect was like, okay, I'm going to keep restarting this Duolingo Spanish thing. And then I realized like, no, it kept track of all my progress. And now it's just the next day. And then it asked me like, yeah, you have a 1-day streak. You got incentives, da da da. And then it goes, do you want to challenge yourself and do a 3-day streak, 5-day streak, 7, 10, 15, 20? And I was like, let's start off small. 3-day streak. Nice. Let me be realistic. And regardless of if I keep up with it or not, there's still only 75 days left in the year.
Exactly.
And I was like, why wouldn't I?
Right.
And remember, like, to remind myself, like, one, having a vision, which is like the pull, like the gravitating, like I'm gravitating towards my pull right now. My push is every single day that passed by that I just didn't feel like myself. And I want to remember that. So I remember I don't want to go there. So that's my push. Like, that's pushing me to go away from there. So I'm like, okay, I have a pull, I have a push. All the track stars and the runners like know that simile or something like that. But I am grateful to know those terms, and I'm applying. Like I said, I've been studying and studying and studying with all these dimensions of wellness, and I'm finally applying it.
Yes.
And I finally made room to be able to apply it, because that's where I really was intentional about like writing everything down, just letting my brain go loose and like seeing what works, what doesn't work. How do I get off of Instagram? Okay, what am I going to replace it with? Oh, okay, music.
Exactly.
What song do I like? There's a whole playlist of my favorites.
It's fine. It's about finally implementing what you know.
Yes.
Instead of just having all those thoughts. Oh yeah, I should be doing this. I should be doing
Passively.
that.
Yes, I should.
Like I know if I started speaking Spanish today, I'd probably learn it by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But you said that last year and you never started,
Right.
So it's awesome to see you take this initiative and really just start to see what attracts you and what brings you happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what this podcast is about. And I guess you were right, because we really just jumped right into it, which is good. And it's about the topic of this podcast is, what is happiness to you, Iana, and to you, the listener? Because we have this idea that
Right.
there are milestones that we have to hit. There are results that we need to get in order to become happy. When you're sitting in your bedroom and you're thinking about your life, you think, oh man, I wish I had my own place. Oh man, I wish I had a better car. I wish I had a better job.
Yeah.
And you're waiting on these things to make you happy.
Mm-hmm.
When in actuality, you said the job that you currently have right now, you said that if I had that job, I would be so happy. Like I would have all the money that I would need. I would be able to take the trips that I need to take. And
this is going to solve so many problems that I currently have.
And then, that keeps its mojo for like maybe the first few months even.
Yeah.
But then after a while, it loses its luster. And then you're left back with the day-to-day things. It's about the day-to-day. It's not about these milestones.
Right.
It's what we choose to do that brings us our happiness, not the results that we get. Me and Iana aren't going to become happy after 100,000 people start listening to the podcast.
Right.
We're already happy because we're using our gifts.
Yeah.
And even though it takes a lot of effort to get in the right mind frame to set everything up, but it's so fulfilling once we start the ball rolling on our podcast.
Yes.
So I want to ask you, Iana, now especially that you've started this 75 journey, not the 75 hard challenge.
No,
not to,
this
not
is
to
different.
Get, but just the 70 days of pretty much reflection.
Yeah. Yes. That's great.
What is happiness for you?
So being entirely honest, happiness is knowing that I am challenging myself to be able to help someone else. And that sounds so random and generic, but my true happiness comes from how I get to impact other people and knowing that my presence in their life has substance and has, what's it called? Like value to it. Like knowing that I'm valuable and adding to the conversation and not just being like a waste of space or like a ball of negative energy or anything like that. Yeah. Like there's plenty of other things that like make me happy, but me putting my best foot forward is genuine happiness. Right. I think that's where a lot of people get the wrong notion, or at least that was my journey of not being able to understand that happiness is within and it's not something external. Yes, looking up on Pinterest and seeing all these mood boards in the fall of like leaves falling and leaves changing colors and candles and books and pumpkins and desserts and food and all these things. Yeah, they like trigger like happiness, but at the same time, like what within me makes me happy is the effort that I know I'm putting out my best foot forward.
But that part with the Pinterest.
Yes.
What about that makes you happy when you look at it?
What about it makes me happy when I look at it? I think the vibe that it gives off. Because as you guys know, my birthday is in October.
Yeah.
We are still in my birth month, and the season, like it might be cheesy, but I don't know. My favorite season is fall.
Yeah.
Because of that transition period.
Exactly.
Because of that reflection period.
Yeah.
And the Pinterest board shows me like it gives off hope in the sense of like whether the leaves changing colors on a picture and like seeing the color gradient of like the different greens, reds, oranges, and yellows, and just the peace that it encompasses. There are so many different mood boards that have different colors, and whether it's like a rainy day in Paris and there's shades of pink and gray and black, and it's it coming to life. And you could just imagine what the photographer was like seeing when they were taking all of those different pictures and throwing them together to create this vibe.
Yeah.
That's what makes me all like warm and fuzzy inside and know like this is a safe space.
Exactly.
Like,
and the reason I'm getting to that is because, yes, I do agree with you to an extent that putting your best foot forward brings you happiness. I feel like what that does most when you do put your best foot forward in terms of pride, it brings you fulfillment because it really makes you think like, okay, I'm doing everything I can to, do what's right. And that's called integrity, right? And integrity makes you feel so good and makes you sleep so well at night.
Yes.
But sometimes integrity is not the same as happiness.
Right.
Putting your best foot forward can sometimes, if you're not careful with recharging, could actually put you in the negative spirit because, you do all this work, let's say at work, and other people get recognized for smaller things, and you throw a fit, and then you're starting to think negative thoughts.
Right.
And so the reason I asked you about the Pinterest and why it makes you happy is because, like I said, we don't need these, big milestones to make us happy. But we also don't want to overlook the smaller things.
Yes.
And it's those small things. If it only takes you 5 minutes to look at a Pinterest board filled with fall pictures, the season, whatever.
Yeah.
And if it makes you feel good, then do that.
Right.
Because like you said, it brings this vibe on that makes you feel like, ah.
Yes. The sigh of relief.
Exactly. For example, what gives me happiness is if I don't work out already, if I don't go play soccer, that in itself already makes me happy.
Right.
But let's say I don't. Let's say it's a rest day. I come home straight from work. What brings me happiness is a cup of coffee.
Yes.
And whatever anime show I'm watching at that time.
Okay.
It's something so simple.
Yes.
But it fills my cup up. There is no, I have to do all these amazing things in order to be happy.
Right.
I don't need anything external to make me happy.
Yes.
For someone, it might be like, bro, what? Like, you don't want to go out with your friends. You don't want to go out and hit a club like at Friday night or whatever. No, what makes me happy is chilling.
Yeah.
Having either my cup of coffee or some dank food and watching my favorite show. Of course, there'll be days where I, obviously want to go out, want to just hang out outside or whatever. But like our dates, we've been having dates on the parking lot sometimes.
Yes.
Not because we sit in the car, but we have these foldable chairs that I have in my trunk and we just whip them out, especially with this chillier weather.
Oh,
and
it's
just
so
sitting out
good.
there.
Yes.
We don't sit in a parking lot filled with people. We go to where there's some scenery, either the sunset or
planes flying up above.
Or a park.
Yeah.
Man, so you know what?
Yeah.
Let me rate the date on the...
Thank you for bringing us back.
Yeah.
I didn't even get to ask you, like, how are you?
But we just came straight into it. Yeah, let's rate the date.
Yes.
First of all, we'll do 2-in-1. We'll do it on those foldable chair.
Okay.
Because we even do them at night. I love those.
Yes.
And let's say Poki DC.
DC.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll leave it to you, Yana.
Ooh, okay. The foldable chairs.
Yes.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Because they're never going to get old.
Yeah.
They might have to be replaced, but the act of that date is like definitely going to be a staple.
Yeah.
Because I love, and I know you love this too,
Yeah.
when we talk, sometimes we get so deep in conversation that like if we're talking in like a secluded space like a car, that energy of that talk just gets trapped.
Yes.
In the car.
Like if it's a heavy subject.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so being outside and absorbing the air and just being out in nature and like breathing in fresh air and everything,
Yeah.
like that will always be the best. Like,
yes.
Yeah. So I would definitely rate that 10 out of 10 for sure.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter like what time of year, what time of day or anything like that. Obviously, there's more preferred like night, colder weather, like chilly or whatever. And then we make it fun too because we add like a hot drink with it or something like that.
And then we play word games while we're out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was fun.
That was a lot of fun. We were cracking up the whole time.
Yeah, the whole time. I'm sure people were looking at us, but like at that time, like you just don't care.
Yeah.
Like I think we got to this level of like, I don't care what people think right now. Like we're living our lives.
And before you go on to Poki DC, I will definitely rate it 10 out of 10, if not breaking the scale.
Yes.
Because first of all, the vibe that you get. I remember we were at, for those of you that are in the area, we were at the, what is that? Route 7.
Oh, near TJ Maxx.
Yeah,
so
near Tyson's.
Leesburg Pike, near Gallows, and no, not Gallows Road, but further up, one of those parking lots with the shopping center.
Yeah, near Tyson's, right across the borough. And it was like, what, 9? We went to TJ Maxx.
Yes.
We went to go look for some stuff.
Yeah.
And then, it was 9. It was still relatively early on a Friday night.
Yes.
And so then we were like, you know what? It's a little chilly. It's crisp for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, Yana, instead of just, going out to watch a movie or watch a show or whatever, let's just sit down and talk.
Yes.
And so I just took out the foldable chairs, and they're nice because they're cushioned and everything. And so then we literally just sat next to my car and then just facing out into the night sky. And it was just so beautiful. Yeah. And the reason I love it so much is because those were the vibes when I was either with my friends hanging out.
Yes.
Or remember how I told you I went camping?
Uh-huh.
That was the vibe, just like out in the night sky, sitting out, just talking.
Yes.
Because you don't have any electronics on you,
Right.
So you're just chilling, talking, and having a good time.
Yeah.
And I was like, man,
enjoying that company.
Yeah, this is what it's about. And then I realized why so many people love camping. Yeah. Like, I don't know if I could still go all that the whole way.
Yeah.
But man, it's a dope experience for sure.
Yeah. For sure.
And how do you feel about Poki DC?
Oh man, that place is just amazing. I think Poki DC would be. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. And it's like for those of you that don't know, Poki DC is pretty much like a sushi bowl type of food. And it has gongcha in it too, which is a bubble tea place. Oh gosh, that's a dangerous combination.
They did it so well. It's 2 different companies, but my goodness, they knew what they were doing.
They knew what they were doing.
Oh man. So Poki DC, I usually get at the borough with gongcha. We usually get sushi rice with like salmon or spicy salmon, shrimp, whatever type of meat.
Yeah.
And then we go into all the toppings. Yeah. And I always think of Eat the Rainbow. So like I make it so colorful with whether it's like mango or pineapple, and then cucumbers, tomatoes, seaweed salad, like all these different colors and things, and red cabbage and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then the there's like the sauce that they put on top, and then the crunchies. So there's so much like different textures. It's just a whole party in your mouth.
Yeah.
And
it's a party, it's a party, it's a party.
Hey, no, I'm just kidding.
And what's that sauce? It's the sesame sauce.
Yes.
Because you could have yum yum sauce too. And for all of those of you that already know what that yum yum sauce is, you already know it's good.
Yes.
But the sesame sauce is beyond words.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So I would totally rate. So that's a refreshing bowl. And then you go over to Gongcha and you grab that bubble tea. And we got, I think I got Thai tea that time.
Yeah.
Yes, I got a Thai tea. My goodness, it is the perfect combination. Yeah. Even like taro or something like that would be delicious. But I'm glad I got the Thai tea because it just was the perfect balance between each other. And they complemented each other so well. So I'm definitely rating that date a 10 also.
Dude, and
so it was such a great birthday week.
Yeah, because we ate out that week. This week we haven't eaten out once.
Not once.
But last week.
So proud of us.
Yeah. We had to do it big for our birthday,
Thank you. Made me feel like a queen. So I appreciate you.
Oh, yeah. And if you guys love your spice, I highly recommend you bring your own bag of hot Cheetos.
Flamin' hot
Cheetos. What you got to do is open the bag, pound it with luckily there's like a little hammer at the honest shop, but whatever you can, you use your fist, the palm of your hand, and just crunch it up all the way to a powder consistency.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you get that bowl, mix it in there. Oh my gosh, the spice is
chef's kiss.
Magnifique. Yeah, so I would definitely rate that a 10 out of 10. I mean, if you're looking for that type of food, like a sushi
something
consistency,
refreshing, but like filling.
Filling, bruh.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like you might make fun of me, Yana, and people that are watching me or listening to me. It's like the Asian version of Chipotle.
Yes.
Because but way better quality. Way better quality.
Yeah. Chipotle used to have great quality too, but I don't know.
Chipotle ain't your life. Chipotle is my life.
You're so funny.
But yeah, that's gonna do it for the segment of Rate the Date. But going back to it, happiness, right?
Before happiness.
Oh, yes.
How are you doing?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm doing pretty well. I had a fantastic birthday week with you.
Yay.
Man, what did we hit? Maggiano's, Poki DC, Ochatai. That's going to be another Rate the Date segment sometime in the near future.
Yeah.
But it's what is it?
Thai food.
Thai food, yeah.
Yes. We usually get the pad see ew. Beef pad see ew. Beautiful. We had like 8 people eating and literally like 4 of us. So half the table ordered that.
The beef pad see ew, yeah. But did we eat anything else or was that it?
Those are all the food spots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But man, what a week.
Yeah. If you couldn't tell, I'm definitely a foodie and I got Adonis into this hecticness, but deliciousness.
Thank you so much.
It's okay. We're balancing and
killing
figuring it
all
out.
my it's like, nah. But so I've been pretty well. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but in my soccer team, I've been gaining a lot of confidence. And at some point, though, I do want to talk about the balance of once you do finally have a little bit of confidence, not to go overboard. Because a lot of us have
humble.
Yeah, because a lot of us, we are humble automatically. Like we're shy to the point where once we do feel that taste of confidence, because it's so rich and we've been starved of it, you could literally go as far as to being cocky and arrogant. And I've noticed myself I've noticed in myself that I was so close, if not already passing with the words that I was saying to my teammates.
Yeah.
And so I know they didn't say anything, maybe because I normally don't speak like that,
Mm-hmm.
but I do have to be aware of not stepping over those boundaries again. Just because I have this confidence doesn't mean like I can get away with murder now. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Okay. How to control that.
how to control it.
And master it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because since I'm like finally like bursting out on the scene,
Yeah.
like I have to make sure I limit that. I have to set a limiter so I don't pass that threshold of
Arrogance and
arrogance.
cockiness.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's pretty dope. And then, yeah. Yeah. So if you guys want to hear that, just let us know and then we'll put it up too.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. But I mean, it has helped me a lot on the field though.
Yeah.
Like, man, my body's not there yet, but the moves, you could start seeing. I'm taking a couple players out,
Yes.
making a decent pass.
Yeah.
I'm starting to run a lot more up and down the field. Not as much as I would like, and definitely not as much the team would like, because you know if we all could, we'd all want me to, you know, be a lot more present,
Yeah.
just to help out the team a lot more. But yeah, I've been having a great time with that, and I've been developing a lot of mindset shifts, and I've been putting a lot more on my calendar and being intentional about using it. I've just been having a great time.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong though. There's been a lot of moments, and this is another reason why I wanted to bring this topic of what is your happiness?
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was doing all of this, when I was performing with my soccer team,
Mm-hmm.
when I was putting stuff on my calendar, I was a lot of times feeling doubtful, and I wasn't feeling. I was feeling just very doubtful. It was weird because maybe I used up all my confidence right before, during, and right after my games.
Okay.
Because then I would think about the podcast, and then I would think about my YouTube channel and be like, what am I doing? You know, like I would feel so bad, you know, for whatever reason. And, you know, you just, as soon as you get into your head, it's like a wrap. You know, you really have to work hard at coming out of that. And the reason, so that's why I'm bringing this topic up, because I think a lot of it had to do with being on my phone, especially on social media like Instagram. Like I would just keep scrolling my life away, and I would notice it at times, and then I would stop for like 10 seconds, literally like 10 seconds, and then just automatically just pick it back up because in my head, there was nothing else to do.
Right. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad you like touched on that note, because what I was going to say is just the simple fact of knowing that you're about to go down a rabbit hole of the treadmill thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's treadmill thinking with strong emotion that gets sucked like out of me.
Yeah.
Because I'm so deep in thought. And what therapy has helped me with is knowing to observe. Just observe that you're in a space of deep thought. And instead of automatically going, how do I get out? How do I get out? Like, let me get out. Or going into it deeper.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Good.
Feel the feelings. Observe what you're feeling. Observe what you're thinking. The type of language that you're talking to yourself with. And then, like, be still in that moment. And then don't say that you need to do anything about it. All you have to do is observe it, because the steps will come after you've finished observing it. And a lot, like for me specifically, that's part of what the biggest challenge is for the 75 days. I already turned on the downtime on my iPhone from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. I'm not allowed to go on any social media. I already turned that off for me.
Oh, nice.
And then I set it to 1 minute per social media app. Not per social media app. It's 1 minute total of Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat and all that jazz.
Yeah.
So the strongest point that I had this morning was waking up and not jumping on Instagram. It was waking up, putting music on, brushing my teeth, and then because I was already up, making my bed so that I didn't go back into bed.
Nice.
And the simple fact of being able to stop the Instagram scroll, like the aimless scrolling,
Yeah.
I think that's why I was able to move forward with my day with energy instead of, oh, I'm so tired. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Like just being so dreadful.
Yeah.
Because my body was so used to stagnation after just waking up. So my body, when I woke up this morning, I got up with intention. I knew what morning yoga poses I wanted to go through, what flow I wanted to do.
Exactly.
And then go into it. And then having that plan of like, okay, what are you replacing that hour and a half of social media scrolling?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? So I was able to complete my morning routine.
Beautiful.
And not be rushing out the door trying to get to work and do all these things. And like soon enough, like the day is gone.
Yeah.
No, I noticed I was present today. Noticed I was engaging today. I noticed all these things, but it's because I wasn't absorbing all that blue light that all the electronics share.
Yeah, that give off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's so true. And I've noticed that the only thing that I needed to do, like you said, from continuing to scroll, was as soon as I became aware of what I was doing, this time I decided I'm putting my phone down and I'm going to let my freaking brain think. Like I'm literally just going to let it think whatever thought it wants to. And funny enough, after a couple minutes, I started to regain some energy. And now here was the problem.
Okay.
Is that after I regained that energy, my first inclination was to pick my phone right back up because I'm like, oh, bet I have more energy to keep scrolling.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Yeah.
It's okay that that's a thought. Don't move on it though. Let other thoughts come in and still don't move on them. Like take these next few minutes to yourself to let your brain breathe and just go through all the thoughts that you have right now. And so what I would do is just wait, let it run its course.
Yeah.
And I would have really good thoughts too. Like I would have like, oh, I should go, start mixing a new reel for the podcast. Oh, I should start working on my YouTube video. Oh, I should journal some thoughts down. And even though I really wanted to jump on it, I knew, okay, wait, hold.
Nice.
Let those ideas still start to come in.
Yes.
And then once I did that and it slowed down, I looked at the time. I'm like, okay, beautiful. Usually when I'm at work, I am crying for these free hours to myself. What can I be doing right now? That is the key to your happiness.
Yes.
Is that freedom to choose what it is that you need in this very moment.
Oh,
Not doing what you have been doing just because you've been doing it.
Yeah.
So not just coming home and watching TV because you've been doing it.
Out of habit.
When it's like going on your phone, you do it because out of habit, not because it brings you joy.
Right.
There was maybe one time where you were laughing in the middle of the night watching reels.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen all the time.
Right.
And it's not going to bring you that happiness.
Mm-hmm.
What brings you that happiness is when you are aware and you're free to make a decision.
Yeah.
And you think to yourself, what do I need right now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I haven't gone out and run in a minute, I would feel so good right now
Yes.
if I just put on my headphones, put my shoes on and went.
Yeah.
Or, man, I would love to take a bath right now,
Ooh,
light up a couple candles,
yes.
and get cozy with it.
Yeah.
I personally haven't done that.
But I have.
Yeah, okay, there we go. But, and it's like, or maybe it is just, if I just had a cup of coffee
Yes.
and just started to write all these ideas down. Promise you, there's been days where all I've done was sip some coffee after work, wrote down in my iPad or my journal, like the next steps for myself. And I felt so good about the day. I felt like it was a huge win.
Yeah.
And that's all it takes. You don't need to be doing 10 things, executing on all 10 things.
Right.
So you could be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Happiness is just what you feel is right in the moment.
Yes.
You will not know what feels right, though, if you never take the time to analyze and observe. You're not going to do it by being on social media, letting other people tell you what you should be doing.
Right.
It's what you should be doing. It's taking the time and being like, I need this time, then I'll do this.
Exactly. Like I really like that you said the 75 days is
Reflection.
reflection, because it is reflection, but it's also me giving me the space to apply what I've already known, like to be true and that would help me along my journey. It's the application of taking all the knowledge that you've learned and applying and seeing what works and what doesn't.
Right.
Yes, this might be like an experimental time period for me, but the fun of it is getting to discover what works for me, what doesn't work for me. I already know going into this, there will be days where I will not want to record myself. There will be days where I will not want to
work out
or eat healthy or eat a vegetable that day or something like that. But at the same time, this is not me giving me a pass.
Yeah.
This is me being able to recall, okay, I don't feel like it, but is this going to help future me or is this going to feed the past me?
Yeah.
So taking that moment to reflect and apply what I like, which one do I want to keep going towards and gravitating towards? And of course, there's going to be resistance because I'm going the opposite way of what I've already been doing.
Right.
And I think my energy just boosted because I was able to create a space for me to live instead of not even creating, but passively going about life and letting life pass me by. So it's like, are you an active participant in your life or are you a passive participant in your life?
Beautiful. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But man, that's going to do it for the 2D podcast. That's going to do it for the meat and potatoes of the podcast anyways.
Yes.
Make sure to check us out on our YouTube page for those of you listening on Adonis Barrera. Mm-hmm. We have a playlist there for the 2D podcast. Mm-hmm. Check us out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Mm-hmm. If you're watching us on YouTube. And you could find us on our Instagram at 2D Pod. That's TOODEEPPOD. And now you can also find us on our Facebook page at 2D Podcast. TOODEEPPODCAST.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. And we're only getting stronger. We're growing in numbers now.
Yes.
So join, be a part of it so we can have that intimate time together while the numbers are still steadily growing.
Yes. Yeah. You'll definitely be able to connect with us on another level of really getting to know us and hopefully us getting to know you so that we can tailor tailor the topics to what our audience needs. Like we're filling out our cup up because we are utilizing our voices, but we want to we always want to give you the value that you came here for.
Exactly.
And the knowledge or whatever it may be. Entertainment even.
Exactly. So yeah. So leave a review if this has helped you in any way, shape, or form, and then share it with the people that you know need it in their life.
Will even benefit.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Stay safe, everybody.
Bye.